Okay, so it's design. Okay, so it's rare that I bring notes here. Is that a fair statement? Or? Yeah, the reason I did is because a lot of these things, these types of topics, there's the people that usually are involved in these topics are very, I'll give you an example, right? There are people that they spend their entire life, that their life's battle cry is habayis, right? Or what are the good examples are there of that? Kallus. Or, what else is there? What else is out there? Come on.
Israel.
What? State of Israel, right? So a person will spend his whole, he'll spend his lifetime's mission, so they have a lot of textual information which will show you that not only going up to habayis is allowed, it's a mitzvah, it's the biggest mitzvah in the Torah, right? And it'll be, mamish, it'll supersede anything in the world, and it'll matter every affair in the world, because it's so important. And then they'll come with textually based things, etc. So today I came a little bit textually based, simply because, that's how you have to, in order to get an appreciation, especially if anybody knows anything about this. So I'm not going to read it. There's lots of pages over here. But anything that requires a text, I will, let's see, they're psukim in the Torah about going up to habayis. The pasuk in Parshas Nasai, they have to be sent. They shall not make impure their camp. Parshas Chukos it says, "Kala negeya b'meis v'nefesh adam asher yamas v'leis chates mishkan Hashem tamei nichrasa nefesh ahim Yisrael." Person that goes up to habayis, the Malkam HaMikdash, whatever the Malkam HaMikdash is, thank you, Shkach, whatever it is, the Malkam HaMikdash, so then it's chayv karis. It says in Vayikra, "Oy nefesh asher tiga b'kol davar tamei v'nelam v'utamei v'ashim." Not only is it generate a krisis, but it generates anger from Hashem. You have assays, you have labin, you have karbonis, you have shegig, you have mesid, you have everything over here. If a person goes into the Malkam HaMikdash, the fact that it's mentioned so many times, why is it that the Torah Kedosha mentions it's not enough to just say one time? It says, how many times does it say not to, not to shave the razor, right? So it says, there's a bad example. I think it says it actually more than once. It's once going on Kehanim and once going on Yisrael, okay? But what else? What else is there? It says that Leis Yirtzach. How many times the Torah says Leis Yirtzach? So why does the Torah have to go out of its way and reiterate this? So the Chinuch has Yisayid, that something that the Torah, it's the Chinuch has Yisayid a few times, something that the Torah reiterates shows you the severity, and that the Torah wanted it to be more and more severe to a person. Going up to habayis, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, in the Tosafot in Shavuos, he says, Amar Rabbi Shimon, Chamer tumas mikdash yoytze mikol aver sheb'Torah. What we're talking about over here is the potentially the worst crime in the Torah. It's Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai is everything. Rabbi Shimon, Stam Rabbi Shimon in Shas is Rabbi Shimon. I think he's mentioned, he's the most prolific writer in the Mishnayos. I think he's mentioned something over 320 times in the Mishnayos. He's Rabbi Shimon, Stam Rabbi Shimon is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. He said this is the worst Avera in the Torah. It's a very interesting Maril. The Maril in Hilchos Yom Kippur, what's the one of the major points of the Yom Kippur davening? We have that whole section of the avoid of the Kayin Gadol. It's very interesting. In the middle of the piyut, in the middle, I think it's like it's a very interesting thing. In the middle of the davening, all of a sudden you have this entire arichas describing the avodah of the Kayin Gadol. It's interesting. I'm saying, here we don't have the Beis HaMikdash. Maybe it's because right after it generates so much of a longing, even from the Hidduch of Hashefer, and then we go right into Ein Lanu this. We don't have Ishim, we don't have that, we don't have this, we don't have Oila, we don't have that. So maybe that gives the Rebbeinu Shalom a reason to maybe. But the Mariel, he says that the reason is, and this is something that's unbelievable. He says because since the sin, the Aveda of going up to habayis is so noira, so nair, it's so incredibly gefährlich. Thomas Mikdash v'Kadashav. So Memela, we have to be mechaper by doing the avoida. We're not doing the avoida, but by speaking out the avoida, that's the shalim parts v'seinu. When we speak out Torah, that itself is as if we were makar of the korban. So then Memela, what we have to do is we have to. But when did the Mara live? He lived 800 years ago. And how many people were going up to the Makam HaMikdash 800 years ago? But he says over there were a few people that were going up onto Habayis 800 years ago. This is like, the time, around the time of the Crusades, everybody was scared to live in Eretz Yisrael. But maybe there was one Jew who 800 years ago, in the year 1250, who knows what, he walked up to Habayis. For that, because of that, over the course of the last 1,000 years, every single Yom Kippur and every single shul that has a mamish 20-30 minutes of a piyut of the Kohen Gadol in order to relive and reenact the avodah, so that there could be a kapara because it's so noira. That's what we're talking about here. I'm talking about something which is, Reb Shimon says, the biggest avera in the Torah, and that Mariel says it's kedai even if one person would go up over the course of 800 years, but we'd have to spend 20-30 minutes of the entire Yom Kippur davening focusing on this and reenacting the avodah of the Kohen Gadol in order to get a kapara. For who? For what? For one person who accidentally goes up. What's l'maisa? What's l'maisa? There's different machanes in Klal Yisrael. You could be married on these things. I tell you, I have the notes here if anybody wants after. But on a practical level, Machan Levi, that's basically habayis. You can't have any tumah yotzei migufay. If a person has a tumah yotzei migufay, that includes carry, that includes ziva. Ziva is a machla, but we're not clear. We never know if somebody has ziva or zav. Carry, a person knows if he has carry. But the tumas that are yotzei migufa, a person has a tumah yotzei migufa, he's not allowed to go up to Machan Levi. What's Machan Levi? Machan Levi, we take on as habayis, which means that pashtus, it's not kares. Machan Levi, a person that goes up with tumas carry, so then pashtus he's not chayiv kares, he's only chayiv alav. Alav is 40. Lashes, it's not great, but it's not cars. And then there's the Machan Shechina, which a person who is a Tumas Mace or Tumas Magav, for that example, he wouldn't be able to go up if he was Nageya in the mace, if he was oil in the mace. Everybody in this room, at one point or another, willingly or unwillingly, was Mustama, Nageya, but mace, even a Kohen, if he was born in a hospital, etc., it's all different cheshbonis. That they always have to assume that he would have been potentially nitba from a mace. It's true, Kohen has more of a chance that perhaps he wasn't nitba from a mace. That's definitely true, especially if he's born in a hospital in America. And the mace of a guy is all shayla, but that's the Metzias. Male person that goes up to the Machan Shechina, whatever that is, Machan Shechina, if he goes up and he's tam a mace, he's chayiv kares. Chayiv kares, and that's that. The pashtus is that right away, upon going up to any of the areas that people go up today, those areas, but at least the Machan Shechina, at least the Machan Levi, at least what we call habayis, to go up to Machan Levi, to go up to habayis. So and everybody here has to worry either he was Tumas Kari or Tumas Ziva. Tumas Ziva is not possible in Bisman Hazeh to be nitar from Tumas Ziva. We require shifting a kiyim and whatever, korbanos and doesn't. Carry would be possible. You would have to go to a proper mikvah, proper chatzitzas, and everything in this and that. Right? So right away, the starting point is that even to go up to Machan Levi is going to be kemat not possible. The Gedolei Yisrael, we're all nervous. The person, even if he would be able to be mitayir himself from Tumas Kari, that's for sure possible. To be mitayir himself, he'd have to go to a proper mikvah. Not all the men's mikvahs are kosher. A lot of the men's mikvahs are kosher just for tefillas carry. For tefillas carry, technically, it's enough to go even into a swimming pool. It's a big shiloh what you need. So not every mikvah is made with the proper chumras that a tefillas nashim is, or a tefillas ger is, for example. It's not the same. It's not the same level. It's a kapanim, but it would be possible. The person, but mitzad sheni, there's the problem of the tumas ziva, and the problem of the tumas ziva is would be an issue. Should we be chayshish that every person in his lifetime became a tumas ziva? So it's not the norm. Ziva is not something that's normal. Carry is something that occurs, but ziva is something that's not the norm. But there's so a chayshish who could know who has ziva and who doesn't have ziva. And the people today, because we're not bucky into a Torah, so we don't know exactly. A person can have a ziva that comes out of him, and he would never know. Okay, that's one shot. Next shaila is that everybody is Tumas Meis. Today's Tumas Meis. Tumas Meis, we don't have a paraduma. If somebody tells you today is a paraduma, so then you probably should stay away from that person. It's probably dangerous. He's definitely dangerous. Right? And the next thing is, he'll be claiming he's the Mashiach. There was somebody, I think, 6 years ago, claimed to have a paraduma, and I think he also claimed, eventually I think he claimed to get dreams from Mashiach, right? He died in Corona. That was very good for Klal Yisrael, because he was a very strange person, and it was,
Can't be a paraduma?
Sorry?
There can't be such a thing as a paraduma?
There can't be that he had a paraduma, right? That for sure. But also, anyways, we wouldn't have the ability to have the proper Torah process from the paraduma. So, I don't know exactly what he did. I think he gave this para, I think he fed him a lot of cranberries and craisins. And he taught it how to smoke hookah, and the rest is history. And so, see, that's the Chita writes that we would need Eliyahu Novi to make Meida to purify the Arizal, because there's all different Dipurim that the Arizal had become Thomas. He was okay. So I don't tell you all the things today. Okay, so now let's skip this. We'll skip this. Now, we don't know exactly where the parameters of exactly where, habayis, Machane Levi ends and the Machane Shechina begins. It's not clear. We would think, things should be like equidistant or something like that. We would think that whatever is considered, we have certain Kabbalahs that perhaps the place where the actual Evan Shasia is maybe where that Tumah is on top, the mosque is over there. There's different things that people say, or whatever. And then we would assume that habayis would be a certain, a certain area over there. And the Machane Shechina would be right under there, and it would be equidistant from the wall, which would make it that we would potentially be able to figure out where's the Machane Levi and where's the Machane Shechina. What would be the Nafkamina? Nafkamina would be is that fine, Tumas Meis we won't be able to take care of, so we'll keep people from going over there. But Machane Machane Levi, we should be able to figure out. No, at Machane Levi, then all we have to do is be matayar the person in the mikveh. We won't care about what the Gedolim cared about Tumas Ziva, and we'll only care about Tumas Keri. Okay, and then we'd be able to title the person and go up there. Okay, before we continue, why is it necessary to go up there? Is there any milah or mitzvah to go up there? Is there? What? What's the reason why? There's a milah to go there? Does a milah go there when there's no Beis Hamikdash, no karbanos? Yeah. Really? It says somewhere that it'll bring the gula faster if somebody goes there? Doesn't say anywhere. Doesn't say it. Doesn't say it. I know this farm. Doesn't say it in any of this farm. I know they say it. But it doesn't say it anywhere. It doesn't say it anywhere. Not in any of the farm. On that shelf, but this is not a riot. It's a lot of random budget. There's 73 Mishnah Berurahs Chelik Zayins on these shelves. You know exactly what I'm talking. Every time I look for a Mishnah Berurah, it's on this shelf. The one you're looking for is missing, right? So, but I've tried Aleph, Beis, Gimel, Dalet, Hey, and Vav. So, okay. They have an old copy there from the Chofetz Chaim. I shouldn't be mezalzel, right? Actually, it's from before the Chofetz Chaim. It's from the time of Rav Ashi. But okay. Do you realize this is clean compared to what you did? I don't think they don't realize this. But okay. Right? But it doesn't say it on any of the Sfarim, on any of the shelf downstairs. In the Beis Medrash, not in Shas, not in Paiskim. Those are the only things that I don't know anything, but those are the things I know from what I'll know from there. Right? But it doesn't say anywhere in Shas and Paiskim such a thing. It doesn't say in any of the Midrashim and the Rabbi's desire. It doesn't say anywhere that there's any milah or mitzvah or benefit to go there. Okay. What? Yeah, Bez Hashem, Dev Shehelf and Takid, there'll come a time that there'll be a mitzvah to be oil regel there, and then for sure it'll be a big mitzvah. But today, to be oil regel there, there's no mitzvah. This is not a Satmar Shita. This is the Paiskim. Satmar Shita as well. Bez Hashem we'll talk about maybe. But what exactly is it? The Kaisel is Kipshutai. The Kaisel is probably the wall of habayis. Which means on the other side of the Kaisel, that's our Kabbalah, that the Kaisel is the wall of habayis. And that's why it's a whole shaila about putting your fingers into kaisel. We probably spoke about it in the past over here. What is that? We probably spoke about it in the past over here. I don't put my fingers into the kaisel. Stama Medina, you're allowed. What? So the truth is that you could put the note in without putting your finger in. If it's Medina, it's mutter. In Medina, it's mutter. Also, someone told me that he saw Shlomo Zalman and he touched the wall and he put his fingers in the wall. And it's not right. Maybe he went to the mikveh and he was tayful for Tumas Keri. The only problem that could be over there, like we said, is habayis. That part is the wall of habayis. It's not Machane Levi. Excuse me, it's not Machane Shechina. You know what I say?
What's the difference between touching the wall and your finger?
And the difference is like this. It could be that there's a Gemara in Yevamis and also in Zvachim that says Bia b'mikzah shmei Bia. So maybe it's a chiddush because Bia b'mikzah shmei Bia is probably going when you could actually go through. But if you can get through that hole, right, then we got bigger problems. But so Mamela, it's probably not a Bia b'mikzah, and it's probably mutter. I shouldn't say it's probably mutter. It's mutter. Medina, it's mutter, and that's the Minik Yisrael. Well, because it's a hole that doesn't actually go through. That's the reason why. Yeah. So Mamela, it's Sacha called the wall. There's all different svaras. Maybe the wall moved, and all different things. Yeah, there's all different ways that maybe the wall's on a tilt. But Maisa, Gedolei Yisrael definitely touched the wall. The rabbis for Shlomo Zalman, the rabbis for Isaac, Rabbi Yashiv, Isaac, Rav Scheinberg, Stipler, the greatest Jews that live in Brisk, they don't go near the bus stop even. So, maybe, Xera, Shema, the bus might take you straight to the wall. But, me, yeah, that's good. But I'm just saying, so, if anybody till today was sticking in papers into the wall, let's invite the guy, you can do it weiter. Anybody who was touching the wall, can invite a ton, right? I wish I never would have accepted every year at the Hataras Nadarim. I think for a minute, I just matter this and touch the wall once and for all. One day I'm going to probably bring myself to the point of where I could do it, and till then I just get nervous touching the wall, the kais like a Moira. But I wish I never took this on myself, and I don't know, maybe after this year we'll matter the nether once and for all. But it bashes its mother. There's not the nazer about it. It's not the raid, but that's the whole nida is outside. Mashenkin, once we hit the inside, so then that's our Kabbalah, that this is the outside, that's Machane, that's, be Machane Yisrael. Inside already be called Machane Levi, that'll be what we call habayis. And from the inside, we have what's called habayis, so now you get all these issues of Kerry and whatever, and certainly Tumas Meis. Tumas Meis. Come again? They say from the Orchaim, it comes back already, there was definitely tzaddikim that did it. It does help to talk today, the Kabbalah at the Kaisel, and what? What do you mean? By the notes? Yeah. The Orchaim, there's a whole story with the Orchaim. The famous Meister that the Orchaim at Kaddish, somebody came to Orchaim and he told him how he was mamish. Orchaim was Orchaim Atar, but Atar, he was mamish Kaddish Kedoshim, and he was of the biggest Mekubalim and Poiskim. He has a sefer in Yerdea called Pritoyer. It's like one of the staples in Yerdea. He was not just he was one of the greatest Jews that walked the face of planet Earth in that time, who ever walked the face of planet Earth. He was a great Jew. And they say the story that there was somebody that came to Chaim Ben Atar. He had problems, and Chaim Ben Atar gave him a piece of paper, and he told him, go straight to the Kaisel, don't stop, don't pass go, don't collect 200, whatever, and go straight and put it in. And as he was going, so the paper blew away from a wind, and somebody found the paper, and he brought it to Chaim Ben Atar, because it was signed on the body of Chaim Ben Atar, and the words that were there were the beautiful milim, Rayosi, Tabas, Mamish, the words of pure chiba to the Heilig of Shefer, that the Heilig of Shefer should do, and it was basically a letter written to the Heilig of Shefer to help this year, and it was signed Chaim Ben Atar. It's something that, we definitely, I don't think it's, it's not a naya minig that somebody could say, it's no point in it, whatever. It's not my thing, because it's just not my thing, because I can't get that close. What am I going to do? Every time I want to go, I'm going to have to give somebody, go put it in the wall, right? The poor guy's busy reading everybody else's notes. So, whatever, people, especially today, you're going to give a guy like a little bit nervous about what's going on. He's afraid he's going to there's going to be like a mousetrap in there. Who knows what? So I don't know. But the Kaisel is the holiest place on planet Earth. Holiest place. Shechina L'Zazim Mishami Oilam. The Medrash says that the Shechina has never left there. There's no pella that so many people were tapped on the shoulders and became frum at that place. It's not because just the suave capabilities of those that tapped. They were the Shlichim Nemonim. They were Mitzliach. But that's the place that the Shekhinah never left. Right? That's a place that the Shekhinah never left. It's the most incredible place on planet Earth. There's no question. I go, I try to go every Thursday night. I try. I tell my wife, the same speech, poor woman, she has to hear it every Thursday night. I tell her, I'm the wealthiest person we married the wealthiest balabas in Flatbush. Fat, pregnant, geschmack, right? She says, why? Every Thursday night she does it. She knows, you want to make your husband happy. Just, I tell her, if I would be a big, fat balabas in Flatbush, I would definitely, I'm a walnut, and I would definitely spend, I would definitely come just to daven Meir by the Kaisel once a week, and for Shteitzlchem, if it's a big, rich balabas, I'd have to go first class, pasnish. Right? So I just saved, go and then, getting a car that's going to wait for me also and all that. So, I just saved 24 hours, at least 30 hours. I would just take a flight back and forth if I would have, and you're talking at least $25,000 a week I save, right? Who do you know that spends that kind of money? You know anybody spends that kind of money? I'm talking about $1 million a year, more than $1 million a year I'm spending. You understand? Going to the Kaisel, and I don't even have to spend one penny. Well, I do have to, the Ravkav or whatever it's called, So, the Kaisel is the holiest place on planet Earth. Anybody who has something, he has to betos to Eibishter, go to the Kaisel. Right? Go to the Kaisel. Totally holiest places on planet Earth are within 20 minutes of your yeshiva. Right? Mama Rachel, the Zayir, and the Tikunei Zayir, I think it was Ois Vav. The Zayir says that the most the Shekhinah, the fullest concentration of Shekhinah is by Kever Rachel. It's the one place where Yaakov Avinu says to Yosef, look, after Verstehen, I had to bury her here, al pi nevuah, because this is the place where Klal Yisrael should go to daven when they have tzaras. It doesn't even say it by the Kaisel. I have no mosik what this means, but it doesn't even say it by the Kaisel. That means Yaakov Avinu got a nevuah that this is the place that you go over the course of the ganze Gullus. Whenever you're going to have a problem, this is where you go. And Hashem Shabbat me, not to Rav Shem Bar Yochai. I go to Rav Shem Bar Yochai. I love going to Rav Shem Bar Yochai. But not to Rav Shem Bar Yochai. If a person says, look, I got to go here, I got to go there. Some people talks to them Rav Shem, and some people talks to them Uman. Some people talks to them Shaila. All these things, right? But I'm saying, if you want to know what the Torah says explicitly, where's the place? It's a Mama Rachel. Mama Rachel. Everybody knows what Kever Rachel is. Mama Rachel, right? I was there a few weeks ago and somebody was asking, what is this place? Who's Rachel? No, it's Nishkehet, it's the mama from Shaila Kistir. Right? I see some guys don't know Yiddish. Okay. They went to Kever Rachel and said, what is it? They said, oh, this is Shaila Kistir's mother. And that's Mama Rachel. It is. He's right. It's no good. It's all our mothers also. Okay. Now back to our show. So, what else do we have here? So we don't know exactly where the Chayil starts. There's 10 levels of Kedusha in Eretz Yisrael. The Habayis is more Kaddish than Yerushalayim. No Zavim, Zavis, Nidois, and Yoldis can go there. The Chayil, no Goyim can go there. No Tamei Mesim can go there. The Chayil surrounds the Azara and the Ezras Nashim. And, those who go up rely on archaeologists who think they found some sort of wall remains. They also assume that the Chayil starts equidistant from the wall of habayis on all four sides. So, for example, if this would be, this would be the Chayil, right? And this is habayis. So they'll tell you, okay, so you can't go there, right? So there's a long-haired, freaky fellow with a ponytail and lots of earrings in every part of his body except for his ears, who's a tour guide who takes you up. And he says, no, you can't go here because that's the Chayil, the Chayal, or something, right? And he tells you where to go, and you rely on him. He has about the nemanis of a chimpanzee, right? And a drunk high one, right? And he tells you that you can't go there. You can't go there, but you can go here, assuming that you went to a mikvah. And Samardik Gazach, you see all those people that are going up, they don't look like, should be looking. But they don't look like, it doesn't look like those ladies are going to the mikveh before they go up and walk on habayis and trample on the Makom HaMikdash. But of course they have to, because otherwise they'd be over on lavim and aseis and all types of other terrible things. Right? And the frum people that go up there, Kanira, they don't have what? It's what?
It's nasty.
It's nasty. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. And the people that go up there, so anybody seeing there with a yarmulke, you have to assume that he was toivel himself from Tumas Keri with the highest level chatzitzes into and v'chule v'chule. Okay, and this is all based on what? An archaeologist who said exactly where it is. Okay, Ramosha, you heard of Ramosha or no? You heard of Ramosha? Ramosha finds it. Yeah, they say he says you could. Okay, so let's hear what Moshe says. It's good having you sit next to me. I'll give you the $1 after. Moshe, in Orach Chaim Chelik Beis Kufya Gimel. No, I mean the truth is the truth. You have to choose. You want to listen to an archaeologist or a Moshe. I'm saying the archaeologist proved based on wall structures and things like that. Moshe only learned Shas. I think what did they say 800 times. Something. What would they say? Something. It wasn't 1,000. I'm saying, right? It wasn't. It was 1,000. It was like 800 times. What is it? Like 800 times or something like that. Shulchan Aruch was well over 1,000. That they say. Shulchan Aruch by Rav Moshe was well over 1,000. Rav Moshe knew everything. Everything. I have a muna that Rav Moshe was greater than Rav Elyashiv because as the Doris go down, I can't massig it because Rav Elyashiv was so noira. But Rav Elyashiv was very skriya. Rav Moshe was nifter. They asked him why. It's got all the Doris. He said, no, he's Talmud Igros. Right? The Igros is, So Rav Moshe in Orach Chaim Chelik Beis Kufya Gimel, he said, first of all, who told you the chel and habayis are equal distant on all four sides? Where does it say such a thing? Where does it say? And he says, you have a raya against this? You're going to believe an archaeologist about a Darabanan, because the chel is only a Shal Darabanan. It's afterward when you get to the Kodesh Kodashim. He says, a little bit further, Yechayiv Lavim Deraisis Krisis. He says, and the wall that's there's a little wall that the archaeologist found. Who says it wasn't built by some guy named Suleiman, or who says it wasn't built by, a Roman. Maybe they'll date it back to the times of the Romans, 39 million years ago. Right? So, but who says that the Roman that built it? Maybe it was a Roman fellow that built it. Who says? Moshe just says, who says, and then he says, why would you go Bichlal? But for what? The Abi just to come Lidei near Navera. It's like Mazeh Ve'al Malzeh. Okay, the Stipler in the kind of Igros and Chelik Gimel, he says, and let's say, he says, so you're going to go up there with your big yarmulke, and you're going to go up there after you went to the mikveh, dripping wet still. Right? And obviously you're not wearing any, shoes or slippers. You're certainly not bringing your phone up there because you can't bring anything into the Makkah Mikdash. You can't bring up in dustai and everything. Interesting. How could you have a selfie at the Kaisel? Okay, I don't know. But how could you have a selfie at habayis? That for sure is impossible because you couldn't bring one upstairs. Okay. But anyways, so the Gedolim said, but it's going to set a bad example because you know how to toivel and you know how to do all these things. But then other people are going to come that aren't going to do this. Wow, what incredible foresight. Let's see. Did the nevuah of these Gedolim come true? He says yes. Right? Who never saw pictures on habayis? Right? So it's obviously all this has become true. I'll read you the letter. Kaimelon, Shegam Achar Chorben Beis Hamikdash like Baktel Kedusha. That's time it's like the Kedusha of Eretz Yisrael is machlekes of Kitchel Shait to Kitchel Asid Lavai. But the Kedusha of the Mikdash, the Shita of the Rambam, that's where everything starts from. The Shita of the Rambam is that Kitchel Shait and Kitchel Asid Lavai. And therefore, even the Makam HaMikdash was not totally in Beis HaMikdash. What's it totally in? Because even when Avram Avinu davened there, it was already Har Maria. It already had the Kedusha Me'oilam. Right? So therefore, it's not totally in a Beis HaMikdash. It's not totally in Kiddush Eretz Yisrael. The Makam HaMikdash, sorry?
So there is still Kedusha.
So there is still Kedusha.
Even though there's no Beis HaMikdash.
Yeah, because
so
that's...
like a Makam Kaddish.
Oh, for sure.
So there is like a Yizor. You are going to a Makam Kaddish.
Oh, Bevada, 100%. 100%. He's going to Makam Kaddish. He's getting Karis. 100%. No, there's no shot about it.
There was no reason to go there anymore now that the Beis HaMikdash is gone.
I thought there's no reason to go there. Why would you go there? Just get Karis? No, again. I'm saying you can go there and get Karis. Wait, it's like, it's like this. The Aron HaKodesh downstairs, right, with the Sefer Torah and all that stuff, right? Is it Kaddish?
Yeah.
Evada. Would you go to sleep in there? Evada not. Why not? Why not? Because you don't go to sleep in there. Same thing. Let's say there's a Makom Kaddish that you're tamei. So when you go and sleep in there, that's not going to sleep in there. It's urinating in there.
Meaning Enochanami, but there's no reason to go.
No, meaning Enochanami. There's no reason to go.
It's not worth it, but there's a reason to go.
No, but not. There's no reason to get kares.
Meaning it's not worth the cars, but there is a reason to go.
No, so let's change it. There's no reason to be mois yumas.
So the going is not worth the risk.
No, the going. No. That's not saying no. the going to a makom kaddish to get tumah means that you're doing the most tumatic thing in the world, right? Because there's a level of tumah which is so tumah. Again, this makom is kaddish. Going to this makom when you are tameh means you are doing the most tumah. It's so much tumah, you're dead. It's a tumah of misa. So going to a makom kaddish, somebody wants to know, is there a reason to go there? The answer is yeah. If you want to go to die, for sure. So there's better ways to do that. What you can do is like this. You go to Har Menuchas, right? You could just like dig someone out, right? And just go inside, right? And stay. And we'll bring 10 people around, right? And we'll say, here lies, right? Fred, he was very nice, and now he's dead. And it rhymes, right? But anyways, so the Stipler is Kaimelon Shigam Acher Churban Beis Hamikdash Leibat Kedushas Hamakim V'Oven Noira V'Ayim U'Lekane Sham B'Toma. We don't have Efer Para, Kulana Tamim Meisim, Vanichnas Habayis B'Makim Shayin Nikra, the Machin Shchinas Chayiv Karis. He says V'yesh Suge, this is just a synopsis, right? V'yesh Suge Tumash Asurim B'Kol Habayis Midaraisa, and that we require Zayin Nikiyim and Tvilas and Mayim and all that. It was Manenu, Einlanu Asik, B'Tyrus, B'Dikas, and all these. Mi Yachal Hagid Shmi Yoyim Valdai. Does anybody here know that he doesn't require a Shiv Nikiyim for a Ziva? Before I go weiter, does anybody know what Zava is? Does anybody know? Anybody know? If the stuff would come out of you, would you know? Right? You'd have no idea. You have no idea. So how could you know if you didn't have a Ziva? Right? So he says, even if you would. He says, this is the line which is very important. He says, let's say you're Tyra in Gansen. He says it's an oven plili. It's a terrible crime. Why? Kibarer. That you'll be mashti the rabbin, because other people will see you go, and clearly what will wind up happening is they'll go up, shalai b'tayra. They'll wind up going up, and that's what goes on today. So the tour guides say, this is where the religious people go, and this is where the non-religious people go. And they show them exactly where to go, straight on to habayis. Arabs don't get so happy when you do these things. Okay, that's a different story. The chayva achein of Bnei Yisrael, to prevent this, who is decided by? This time by the Stipler and the Shach. So that means that the Gedolei Olim of that time, Rav Moshe, the Stipler, and the Shach, all were against it. Okay, what else? Let's see. So the Mishabura brings down this Shitas Harambam. That's I think known. That part I didn't talk about today. The Dvarim that are known, that everybody knows, that the Makom Karis and the Mishabura brings it and all that. That's what I think Dvarim is doing. Right? But then like this. So what about? 1 second. Slowly. So this thing. When religious people go to habayis, there have often been outbreaks of terrorist incidents, right? So, like for example, does anybody remember the Har Nof massacre or no? It's before your time or no? Yeah. So that was, anybody who knows history. There was somebody who was murdered there that every one of your Rebbeim knows. Every one of your Rebbeim knows at least one person that was murdered there, because I know somebody that was murdered there. When did that incident take place? That incident took place right after the agitation of religious Jews that had gone up to habayis. Now, we all know that the Arabs, Yamach, Shmam, all of them, they just need an excuse to cause trouble. There's no question that they want to kill. There's no shaila that they look for ways to kill every day. That's no question. There's no shaila, right? But this is like a general hashkafic idea. Do I want to be the direct achroi of their decision to now kill? You understand? So halacha has a yachas to this, has a feeling toward this. In other words, you say they're just looking for excuses to kill. Yeah, but if you're going to be the one that was enabling them, then press the buttons. And so in halacha, that person's called a roidif. There's no shayla. Right? In times of Chazal, if you know that this incident is something that is goyrim them to take out on Jews, so then he would have a din of a roidif. A roidif, even a safek roidif in halacha, it is a very chamartik thing. The person that we assume a pichazaka, that when people do this thing, it agitates. Now, there's levels and levels, but there are some people that the agitation is more and more, right? When it's a political figure, etc., etc., etc. Okay? So, not being around this anything, right? If during World War II, someone left his hiding place to go and pray. This is a Ma'aseh Shayla. Someone left his hiding place to pray in the remains of a synagogue. Right? He left his hiding place, and as a result of that, and everybody there begged him and pleaded with him not to leave. Right? Upon his return, the Nazis followed him, Yimach Shemam, and they killed everybody in the room. Right? Is he innocent, or is he a roidev? It's not a Gishmak Shayla, right? It's not Gishmak. What's the answer? It's Pasha no Shayla Malacha in the world. He's a roidev. There's no Shayla. They were misupik of the danger involved of him leaving. It happens to be they were right. But let's say they weren't right. He'd still be a roidev, right? You understand? They can't take a chance of such a thing, and they should have killed him. Right? Unfortunately, because they didn't kill him, so they were killed. Right? It's and halacha definitely reckons with these types of things. Going up to habayis with his baseball hat and jeans. So it says in the pasuk, "Miktashe tiro." You have to act with utmost respect. Spitting there. Probably can't smoke hookah up there. Not mistaber. Right? Now don't get me wrong. Habayis is the greatest place in planet Earth. And when we daven, I hope you all know this. When you daven, you direct your tefillas, even if you're in New York, right? Direct it toward Eretz Yisrael. If you're in Eretz Yisrael, it's faster, right? Toward the Makom HaMikdash, right? Toward the Kodesh HaKodashim, Zashar Shemayim. When you daven, that's the way you daven. People know this, I hope, right? When you daven, you're supposed to, before you daven Shonasrei, you're supposed to be makavin that the tefillah should go derech the Koisel, derech the Kodesh, up to Shar Shemayim like that. So it's definitely the holiest place in the world. Holiest place in the world doesn't necessarily mean you should be there. The Kohen Gadol, he went in l'fnai v'l'fnim. He was the holiest person, the holiest day, the holiest time. It was mechaper with those moments on the whole entire Klal Yisrael when he would go in there. If he went in 1 moment too early, chayiv curse, right? Mois yumas. You go in 1 second too early, mois yumas. A mitzvah l'farsim, when they be engaged. Engagement is a time. A lot of nisyanis, right? If he doesn't wait, if he waits, what he does, mamish kodesh hakadashim, davar tzanua shekodesh hakadashim. Okay, if he does it 1 second too early, mois yumas. You have to know that. There are certain things in life that the time for them is now, or the makim is for this. One day we'll all be zeicha to be there, taka, in the makim hamikdash, and it'll be zeicha b'kedusha to be there. Right? He goes 1 moment too early, mois yumas. It's like that with everything in life, right? Person, Mitzvah Yom Kippur. Mitzvah Yom Kippur, there's a mitzvah to eat. Taisus at the end of Yuma brings down a mitzvah to eat Yom Kippur. He's 1 minute early, mois yumas, karis, whatever, right? You have to know everything and it has its place. Everything has its time. It's a biggest sight. A biggest sight in Abeit Hashem. So what else is there? Let's see if there's anything else. Yeah, I mean, again, that attitude of saying, I don't care what I can do whatever I want, and if the guy react, did anybody hear of Soim Gedalia or no? Soim Gedalia, heard of it or no? It's like a pasuk in Tanakh. It's after Rosh Hashanah. Hinei Ma'aseh Gedalia ben Achikam. This is the Mesilas Yesharim talking. Mesilas Yesharim says he has a whole parak called the Mishkal Chasidus, that sometimes a person does something which seems to be a mitzvah, and b'saif, there's much greater avera that comes out of it. And he shows it's not even a mitzvah. His example of here is Gedalia ben Achikam. Gali le'inenu shemidnei roiv chasidusai shalei yadin shishmoy lekav chayva shalei lekav l'shinar. They told him he's dangerous. They told Gedalia he's dangerous. Gedalia didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear it. I won't listen to Lashon Hara. He closed his ears. Ma garam mace who nifers Yisrael kaba gechal tam nishar, and the Torah, the Tanakh, regards him as the murderer. It's on his hands. It's Lashon. It says kol pigre anashim asher hika biyad Gedalia. Gedalia was the one that killed them. Gedalia was killed because he didn't listen to Lashon Hara. So he was the killer. He was killed. But it's your fault. It's your fault. Don't be such a tzaddik. Al titzte garbe. So Abayis Hasheni got buchar because of this. Let's say there is a big mitzvah of going up there. Imamish, he would toivel properly. He'll stay in the proper place, and he won't have to care about other people and all that stuff. Okay, whatever. But you do have to take into cheshbon other people. You have to take into you have to take into consideration Klal Yisrael. It says in Mesilas Yesharim, Ach tzarich lefanais koi v'koi like last week's parsha. The kallus stadim sheyuchol. Before you do a ma'aseh mitzvah, it's one of the great yisaidis in Abeit Hashem. Right? A person in Abeit is going to have a house one day. And he's, Avodas Hashem requires him to make cheshbonis constantly. Is what I'm doing now a mitzvah now? Wants to bring into his house a certain, let's say, a chumrah or something like that. It's a shkot chumrah and everything, right? His wife can't handle it. His kids certainly can't handle it. Let me give you an example, right? I don't listen to music. I don't listen to music because the Rambam, most cheetahs hold that you shouldn't listen to music with manazeh. The chumrah based on mikdash. We're not going into the sugya. The Shulchan Aruch brings down this shita as the Ekashita into Siman Tov Kuf Samach. Because it's Brentzach at the base of Mikdash, so you don't listen to music. Okay. The Ramah brings down the minig is to be makel. You just can't be a hangaton in music. You can't be listening to music all the time, or whatever. Not like anybody today, and whatever. And the minig is that people listen to music today. When I decided not to listen to music, the first question I made is like, it's going to be very difficult in my house to bring in such a chumrah. I know it's going to turn my house into a dreary halayis basic for us, right? Halayis, right? So I decided, and rightfully so, that's not a chumrah for my house. I don't listen to music, right? So I myself, I don't listen to music. Come in the car, I listen to music, right? In the house, there's music on an Erev Shabbos and whatever. It's not the pshat. Originally, I somewhat made it a little bit known that I don't listen to music. Maybe I come into a kitchen until the Erev Shabbos, they turn off the music. That's step two. Because the ikar din is you're allowed to. And the house is not soivel. The house in general, Bezmanazah, in the year Tafshin Pei Gimel, is not soivel that onaga. What would have happened if I would have had so much love for the base of Mikdash and so much love, right? The only thing is, it would be a lot of love for the base of Mikdash. I wouldn't have any religious children, and my wife probably would leave me by now, right? But so what? But the base of Mikdash is more important, You can't. You don't live in a bubble. It's the biggest site in Yiddishkeit. It's the biggest site in Avodas Hashem. Right? I davened next to somebody a few days ago. It's so much shuk and cheshik and ahava for Hashem Yisbarach and his way is davening. It didn't matter that nobody else in the shul could daven because of him. That's not important. The fact that his mom is screaming and davening and this and everything and moving and the smell, that's a different story. But Akafana, right? It doesn't. What's the difference? I have to talk to Hashem now. The fact that other people, because of me, are not going to be able to talk to Hashem, it's not my problem. That's the biggest thing in Yiddishkeit. That's no such thing. Avodas Hashem, sorry,
Don't be from.
Don't be from on other people's chesed. I would say like this: don't be crazy on other people's chesed. But don't be from on other people's chesed. Now, sometimes it doesn't work like that. One day your parents are going to want to take you out to some place that doesn't have a good hashir, but they're from America. They don't know this, that. You do know. So you can't say, don't be from on other people's chesed. Okay, there's something I can't do. Something's not good, right? But the cheshbon, nobody can come and say that this mitzvah, whatever anybody's going to say, it's borer. That I'm not going tonight with the approach of you're not smarter than the Gedolei Yisrael, and if the Gedolei Yisrael know halacha better than you, and which that's the obvious. That goes without saying. For me, that's enough. I don't need more than that. Shach and Rav Moshe and the Steipler, that's enough for me. They don't go there. Eliashiv didn't go there. All of our Rebbeim, all the people that knew Torah the most, all the people that had the most ahava for Klal Yisrael and the Mikdash and the Chorban. I've seen the tzaddikim of the door crying for the base of Mikdash and longing for the base of Mikdash. I've seen it, but none of them would even imagine doing such a crime. So I'm not smarter than them. I'm not going with that mahalach today. I'm just going to start very practical, seichel-dik, think for a moment, right? Even if a person were to, but he has a lot more to lose than to gain. So therefore, you have to think in a broader picture. Most of the people that do these things, their entire Yiddishkeit is this. The entire Yiddishkeit is this. That's a kasha. Your entire Yiddishkeit is focused on one specific thing. Let's see if they have the same ahava for Torah and Tefillin and Kashrus and Chesed and all 613. Right? But that's that. So, L'maisa, I'll say one last thing here. So, there's a here. Okay, so if somebody would have to go up to, I think it was a bit too controversial, perhaps. But so someone told me that all types of weird things you hear. Svardim holds you can go up to Sarbai. So here, the Ravaja obviously was known held you can't, but Rabbi Sion, he writes like this: Ayim mutad likanes lahar habayis bismanenu, ein likanes klal l'shetach habayis hayoyim, ein lavor b'matos. You can't fly over on a plane. On loimer to goy. You can't even tell a goy a chayal if there's a soldier who has to go there for pikuach nefesh because of all these idiots and because of all these people that go up and endanger all of Klal Yisrael as a result of their stupidity. So Yitbol Koidim Shikanes, he has to go title in a proper mikveh with proper chatzitzas and everything. He has to take off Yasir Me'alav Kol Beged HaChafetz She'enim Uchach. He has to take off any beged he doesn't need. Like for example, his tzitzis. So you don't see any of these guys wearing tzitzis up there, which you see all the time. I mean, like, what are you doing? You don't need the tzitzis. What's he doing, Michal? Okay, and a wallet and a watch. Then this, and also Yigaleach Cyrus Roishai Bitar Lifnei Shikanis. Baldy. Afterward, run miyad achutza beli l'shayis afilu reged echas v'chol oifen mutali kanei sets b'bein havnei kaisel. But you're allowed to put your fingers into the kaisel. Right? So you see that part we did get. That part we did get. So what's the bottom line? What's the bottom line? Bottom line is what do you say? Should we all make a class trip to habayis? Should we, tenders outside? First we go into the mikvah. Who's going to take? Who's got the razor? Right? Take off your tzitzis. No, everything goes. I would think pashtus and halacha comes out that pashtus is a problem to go. It seems like it's a problem to go. So that's what I see it is. It seems like it's a problem to go. I would suggest just staying on the outside of the kaisel, and I would suggest Mama Rachel or Shayla. The stomach's better go Shayla. Okay.
You have been listening to a shiur